So welcome to Koinos Concepts. Koinos Concepts is a short mini-series of presentations designed to give a brief but detailed introduction to the Koinos blockchain. This is part 5, Mana, the feeless mechanism. Initially, we have to start with why free. Feeless blockchains are probably the holy grail of blockchain achievements. Everyone has been trying to reduce fees, but no one has been able to actually eliminate them. If you can achieve a feeless blockchain, I think people would generally agree that you've unlocked the secrets to a blockchain. And a lot of people want to ask the question of why haven't we actually gotten there? It's a very interesting question because the reality is that free blockchains are an evolution of blockchain ecosystems. It is not a different design intent, it is actually just an evolution of the process of discovering what blockchains can do. So because blockchains are a networking layer, it almost always had to be free in order for it to be mass adopted. So to quote Koinos the GOAT, who is a community member of the Koinos blockchain community, it's about time. It is just a matter of time that blockchains all eventually become free in order to become massively adopted. So here's a super brief history review. So with Bitcoin, they started out implementing fees on the blockchain. Ethereum attempted to take Bitcoin and apply smart contract functionality, so it too also had fees. Now you have Ethereum, which created a fee-based system that everyone began to copy. If you see everyone's version of Ethereum, you begin to notice that everyone has been trying to reduce fees to near zero. You can look at the Binance Smart Chain and Polygon, for example. They take pretty much the exact same functionality of Ethereum, and they bring the fees to close to zero as close as possible. However, in order to achieve a free blockchain, a truly free blockchain, the mental model of how value is perceived must be changed. The gas trap. So the gas trap is the addiction to collecting fees that traps the miners from advancing the network forward. Miners are literally addicted to gas because gas provides additional income for miners on top of something that they are already being paid to do because they are already awarded new tokens for block production. This occurs on nearly every single inflation-based blockchain. So the big question is, if you remove gas, does it mean that miners stop mining? No. If you design a blockchain to be a certain way, it will behave that way until you change it. The problem with monolithic blockchains is that you cannot easily change it because the miners are the backbone of the blockchain itself. So ultimately, gas is trash. Gas has one function and one function only, and that is to mitigate spam. There's this fallacy that if fees did not exist, then there would be no incentive to run the network. This is just flat out wrong. Every blockchain has attempted to bring fees to near zero. How different is the incentive structure between no fee and low fee? There actually is almost no difference. So block producers effectively only have one job and one job only. They produce blocks and they get rewarded with inflation. This is what you see in proof of work, proof of stake, and also on Koinos proof of burn. Block producers should focus on producing valid blocks only, not control the growth. You see this in Ethereum where the miners actually sabotage the inclusion of Ethereum 2.0. because they are addicted to gas. So the growth is a feature of a good blockchain design and implementation. Miners should stay away from the growth value of a token. So if you got rid of fees, you would not necessarily get rid of miners because miners are not part of the growth. So how did Koinos manage to do this? Koinos employs a resource management system called Mana. It's similar to gas, but you don't have to spend the underlying token to purchase the gas. Mana is something that cannot be separated from the coin token itself because it is an inherent property of liquid coin tokens. So Mana can actually have the effect of being transferred in two different ways, even though it is not in itself a token. It can be used to pay for another user's transactions directly. The coin never actually leaves the payer's wallet, only their Mana gets consumed. A user can also delegate Mana to someone to use however that user wishes. So here are some examples. Example number 1. Koinos the GOAT wants to perform a decentralized trade but doesn't have any coin. This decentralized exchange collects a small fee for their services, so they want to allow Koinos the GOAT to make the trade by consuming the decentralized exchange's own Mana. This uses the user pays feature. So no longer will that user have to first get the native token in order to buy gas in order to trade other tokens. They can just have the underlying token that they want to trade and potentially use the DEX's Mana in order to perform the trade. Now the DEX still has interest in doing this because they can still collect a small fee. What that basically does is it allows the DEX to still make a profit and it allows a user to still perform the trade. So in Mana example number 2, a developer wants to give their user a free trial of their full suite of dApps. So instead of the user having to create a wallet and fuel it with a gas token, the developer simply gives the user a free wallet with a certain amount of Mana to be used until it's depleted. Now that user can now experience a decentralized application without having to actually acquire a coin to pay for your gas fees because there are no gas fees on Koinos. If they lose the wallet address, no worries, the Mana automatically transfers back to the developer. You never actually lose the token. So the mechanics of Mana is that only liquid coin holders get Mana. If your coin is locked up for any reason, there is no mana for you to use. So when you consume mana, your available mana begins to go down and recharges over a period of days. The current implementation is assumed to be 5 days, and it may likely stay that day. So mana not consumed is still available. For every 1 coin, you get 1 mana. If you use half a mana, you still have half a mana left over. If you use all your mana, you can't perform any more transactions, and this is effectively how you prevent people from spamming the network. So in summary, only liquid coin holders actually have mana. If your coin is being used to generate yield or locked up in any other way, you do not get mana on that token. Only liquid tokens have the ability that's called mana. Mana itself is not a token. You cannot separate it from coin and try to sell it. It is always a property of the native coin token. So mana can also be delegated or used for other people's transactions. Mana is also forever. If you have 1 coin, you always have 1 mana. It slowly recharges over time, and the current implementation is that it will recharge fully over a 5-day period. If you want to learn more about the Koinos blockchain, visit koinosforum.com for more information. Each of these videos are designed to be 2 to 10 minutes long, and they focus on the big ideas of Koinos.